What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Theocracy. Yes, indeed, Theocracy fans, FEELIN, you, come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Daniel Hune, and Daniel wanted to see me react to this. It is Theocracy doing a cover of the Angra song, Time. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. I've actually never even heard the original before, so I know this is a cover, but I've never heard the original. So I'm gonna have to kind of treat this as an original. Sorry about that, but yeah, I've never heard the original song before, so this is gonna be a whole brand new experience as far as I know. Now, there's always a possibility that I might have heard either this cover or the original in passing, and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, you've got to be kidding me, this is that song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Theocracy Matt, all one word, and the video has 109,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Theocracy, Time, Angra cover. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
This time I wanna know what life means, to live it again. I'm looking forward, feel the light shine in my eyes. And now I know my instincts were not wrong, and many things can be done. I don't believe now that I'm dreaming alone. We're searching for the love that everyone's got but can't see.
It brings us to mind stuff like that.
Beyond the flesh and blood, there's so much hidden behind, and so much more we've gotta keep. Sanity brings out the sadness that keeps your illusions locked in a little box.
I like it.
Right comes, you find yourself lonely in a cage of conclusions, crowding your mind. Now sit back, bowing your head, every answer, yes, why don't you trust me?
Okay,
And
but
share
six
out
is
your
not-
fears running over the tears you're containing. Now cover your eyes.
It's six,
Is it
back to
getting
minus six.
I will be here when fire burns.
Okay. First impressions. I like it. I do like it. I'm enjoying what I'm hearing. Everything they're doing makes sense. As far as accuracy to the original, I have no idea. I don't know how close this is to the original. The original could be in a completely different key, completely different feel. I honestly have no idea. I have no clue what the original sounds like. So I gotta kind of take this from approach of an original song. Like I have to kind of take it from the approach of this is a Theocracy song and not an Angra song. I understand it's a cover. I get it, but I've never heard the original. There's some great motion and movement happening within the guitars. The chordal progression, I like what's happening there from the fifths to the minor sixth to the major sixth, down to the minor sixth, and then back to the fifth. I like that. Those little half-step integers, I like that. I was gonna say something else. The drumming. Drumming doing a really nice job of setting the mood and tone and pace of the song, the feel of the song, the direction of the song. As far as feel goes, he's doing a fine job with it. The bass playing, I hear it. He's doing a fine job. Everything he's doing sounds fine. I hear opportunities where there could be some movement, but he's relegating himself to primarily staying on root notes. Is there anything wrong with that? No, there's nothing wrong with that. I am not saying he's doing anything wrong. All I'm saying is there are opportunities that are happening, like when we sustain and the guitars sustain and drums hit those cymbals and sustain and nothing happens. It just stays there. There's opportunities for the bass to come in and do like a counter melodic line to what's happening within the vocals. I would have loved to have seen that. Didn't get it, but that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, everything the bass player is doing is just fine. He's keeping the low end covered, hitting those, staying on the root notes. No problem with that whatsoever. Vocally, I like what he's singing notationally. The notation sounds really good. Every once in a while, when he goes up, it does get pinchy. You can hear it. It's getting up there, and you can hear him pinch. There was one section where he really, like, it was just a quick scoop, like that. It was just really fast. That did not sit well with me. It was very, I don't want to say it was done poorly, but it definitely could have been done cleaner. But okay, I'll say this. It was a little but at the same time, it's only happened once. So as long as it doesn't happen again, I'll be okay with it. But if it does happen again, I'm gonna throw a question mark into here. Is why are you doing it? You know you blew it on the first one. Why are you gonna try and do it again? You know? Anyway, no. But overall, I'm enjoying this. This is a good tune. So let's keep going here. That was accurate. I like it. Oh! Man, that double kick. Playing with the camera, why not? Oh, bass player. Nice song. Nice song overall. Like I said, I'm gonna have to kind of treat this like an original because I've never heard the original recording from Angra before. So as far as this being, I understand this is a cover, but for the purpose of scoring, I gotta treat this like an original. So that's gonna be interesting. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Theocracy with a cover of the Angra song Time. This was a request from Daniel Hune. Okay, I got a score. Before I give my score, I just, in case people didn't hear me, I'm just going to reiterate this one more time. I've never heard the original song by Angra before. I understand this is a cover. I absolutely understand that. But having said that, it's hard for me to base a song as a cover when I've never heard the original before. This is not the first time I found myself in this situation. When in the past, and what I'm going to do here as well, I've treated it as an original song because I have absolutely no point of reference as far as a cover goes. So I'm going to treat this as an original tune. I understand it's a cover, but I have no, like I said, I have no point of reference. So having said that, let's get to the score and I'll explain how we got there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.8. What does that mean? Well, a 7.8 would translate to a really good skill rating. Overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also give 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, 7.8, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Haha! So glad you asked. Okay, treating this like an original song. It's a really good tune. It is. I really have no complaints about the song as a whole. Everything sounded good. Everything sounded like it belonged. Everything flowed really well. The chordal progression was really nice. I love in the main riff during the verses, the movement from the 5th up to the flat 6th, up to the natural 6th, back down to the flat 6th, back down to the 5th again. I like that. It was a nice little loop around. It felt good. Very catchy. Very, very appealing to the ear for sure. The guitar playing in this was really well done. Both guitar players did a fine job with their parts. The bassist, like I said, for the most part, sticking around, the root notes. And there's nothing wrong with that. I got no issue with that. All I'm saying about the bass playing is there were a couple of times where there was opportunity for him to do a counter melodic line that was not taken. Now, maybe they were trying to stay as close to the original as possible, and maybe the original doesn't do it either. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I would have been really, kind of tickled though if he had come in with a counter melodic line on those couple of parts, but it's all right. The ending on the flip side where he went up on the neck, I appreciate the fact that he went up on the neck and he did the riff that he did. I do feel it kind of overstayed its welcome. I would have only done it once and gone back down to filling out the bottom end again. As a result, the bottom end did suffer a little bit toward the end, which was a little disappointing if I'm being honest. I really wish he had just gone through the riff one time and that was it. Vocally, I already talked about this. I think his vocals were, if I'm being honest, I think the vocals were probably the most impressive part about the song. At the same time, it was also the thing about the song that I really didn't dig either. There were a number of times where he got up in range, and it's impressive that he can get up there, okay? Don't get me wrong. Getting up that high, not easy to do. As strongly and as powerfully as he did with as much projection as he had, I gotta give him props. At the same time, though, it got pinchy. It got very pinchy. You couldn't help but notice it. And there was that one, I don't remember exactly where in the song it was, but he did this one vocal. It wasn't a vocal flip. It was a vocal jump where he went whoom, like that. And he just up and then came right back down again. And boy, did that did not resonate well with me at all. It was very abrupt. Now, the good news is it only happened once. So it didn't, doing that, like, could you imagine if he did that like 3 or 4 or more times throughout the entire song? He only did it once, thankfully. I can overlook it, but at the same time, I can't help but notice it. Did it affect the score at all? I don't think so. I think the 7.8 would have been the same score whether he had done that or not. Now, I will say, if he had done it more than once, if he had clipped that like 2 or 3 times or more, then yes, the score would have started to come into effect, and the more times it did, the more the score would have come down. It would have been quite egregious at that point. But luckily, only did it once, so I don't think it affected the score at all. The drumming on this, I dug the drumming, especially. He had that gallop feel going on, towards the end, about 2/3 of the way through the song. He had that gallop going on in the kick drum, and then all of a sudden he kicked into overdrive. Woo! That was some clean kick drumming right there, boy. Very nice, very tasteful too. He didn't have to rely on doing that through the entire song. He saved it for that very specific section to have the most impact without overdoing it and without overstaying its welcome. So yeah, very smart, very strategic, very tasteful playing. And of course, it was impressive seeing that speed and as clean as it was. Now, overall, I think it's a really good song. I do. I think there were some really good things happening, even some great things happening. And then there were some things I wasn't 100% sold on. But in the end, it all averages out to a really good score of 7.8. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.8, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope that was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.